From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
An Anaconda Deer Lodge district judge was reprimanded by the Montana Supreme Court. I'll tell you what was said.
And if you've noticed more planes landing at Bozeman Yellowstone, you'd be right. And that also means that more jobs are needed in the aviation, but specifically in the avionics field. We'll get into that coming up here shortly.
Definitely noticing more planes landing at Bozeman Yellowstone. I only live about a mile off the runway out
well,
there.
you can hear them. That's the thing.
You see it all the time.
You at least hear them.
I'm an airplane fan, so I can't wait to see your story on that.
They're really, really neat. All right, 6:30. Jay McDonald, Chet Lehman with you. A beautiful view over the mining city right now.
Beautiful morning to go for a flight if you have the opportunity to do that. Cloudier skies here in the Gallatin Valley than you're seeing in the mining city. Temperatures not too bad all in all. We're in the 30s for the most part. West Yellowstone at 27, Dillon at 35, Bozeman at 37 degrees. It's going to get a little warmer today, at or above average. One day cool, a little bit of rain, and then some delightful weather to kick off next week. Details of that and a look at your Mother's Day forecast in a couple minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Chet. Right off the top, Belgrade police served their 4th search warrant on a Belgrade home yesterday afternoon, which resulted in a standoff. According to Police Chief Dustin Lensing, there were about a dozen people removed from the house. He says a firearm was involved, but no shots were fired and no one was injured. He describes the standoff as, quote, a brief one. Lensing says that the incident is still under investigation. Of course, we'll keep you up to date online and on air on that. But in the meantime, a judge is off the bench. MTN's John Amy is following what happened to cause that. He reports from the Montana Supreme Court that it's an admonishing of an Anaconda Deer Lodge district judge who the justices say made inappropriate comments.
The public reprimand of an Anaconda district judge that was held here in Helena before the Montana Supreme Court was very short, but not sweet. District Judge Ray Dayton was recently suspended for 30 days by the High Court for making inappropriate comments of a sexual nature about a witness in one of Dayton's cases. In Thursday's reprimand hearing, which lasted less than 5 minutes, Chief Justice Mike McGrath was the only one on the panel who addressed Dayton.
Your comments were offensive to women and highly derogatory toward a witness in both court proceedings. The comments indicate your lack of respect, not only for the witness, but for the ongoing legal process as well.
When the Chief Justice was done speaking, District Judge Dayton thanked the panel and left the hearing without further comment. The person who filed the complaint against Dayton spoke to KXLF, requesting only to be identified as a county employee. They said they heard Dayton make a sexually explicit comment about the woman, who was not present at the time, in front of people in the hallway of the Anaconda Courthouse in August of 2022. Dayton's suspension without pay runs from May 13th to June 11th. After that, he can return to the bench. In Helena, John Amy, MTN News.
Thank you very much for that, John. Now we continue our Scripps News coverage at the border of Mexico as Title 42 has officially expired. John Mon is in Brownsville with a local perspective on the issue.
The refugee camp sits on a sharp bend of the Rio Grande. It's just a swim away from the U.S. border near Brownsville, Texas, if you dare.
Pero ya no teníamos más nada porque no teníamos otro recurso, pero era el único medio de nosotros poder pasar y cumplir un sueño, una meta final.
Luz Marita Yeria counts herself amongst the thousands of Venezuelans at this makeshift community in Matamoros. It's one of the most dangerous cities in northern Mexico, where migrants often fall prey to kidnappers, gangsters, and rapists. She's just one of many desperate men, women, and children stretching along the U.S. border, trying to navigate recent and confusing changes in U.S. immigration policies. The Trump administration invoked Title 42 in 2020, using an existing public health policy to prevent COVID from spreading as a substitute for immigration law. It resulted in the expulsion of millions of asylum seekers back to Mexico. The policy expires just before midnight tonight, with President Joe Biden announcing more legal pathways to reach the U.S. But White House officials are still discouraging migrants from trying to cross over.
Let me be clear. The lifting of the Title 42 public health order does not mean our border is open. In fact, it is the contrary.
The new policies are confusing to many migrants, many of whom are desperately trying to score an appointment at a border checkpoint on a glitchy app with only 1,000 available spots a day. Some have tried for appointments for months with no luck. People can also try for asylum through humanitarian parole, although it's limited to Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. The last option is to cross illegally and begin a formal deportation process. Families and children will most likely be put on a slower track, meaning they can live and work legally in the U.S. until a court hearing. But most single adults will be likely removed quickly. Migrants also face what's called a transit ban. That means they must first seek asylum in countries they've passed through, which can be an extremely lengthy and potentially dangerous process. But if they don't and cross illegally, U.S. immigration officials can block entry and deport them.
Let's set up regional processing centers. Let's work to make sure that people have options so that if they're looking to seek asylum or if they're looking to come fill a job, how can we make sure that we match those things up?
But officials like Mayor Victor Trevino of Laredo, Texas, fear chaos and strain on his city's resources once Title 42 is lifted.
We're in the trenches of the immigration problem, so we're boarding up like if it's a hurricane coming.
John Moan, Scripps News, Brownsville, Texas.
Now focusing back closer to home in the Treasure State, with so many planes coming in and out of the state, the need for local talent to make repairs and maintenance is important. Well, there's a new program at Gallatin College which aims to address just that. I talked with one student who turned his passion for automotive fixing to avionics. Now, there are many classes that are taught here at Gallatin College, but one program in particular takes students from the classroom to the hangars of Bridger Aerospace.
Come on in. I love automotive history, and so getting to work on airplanes, it's not exactly the same. Avionics and automotive mechanics don't completely transition, but a lot of it is, fixing and maintaining and doing similar work and working with tools. So it's similar, we could say that, I guess.
A passion realized through the new avionic technician program at Gallatin College. Simon Perry is a student getting hands-on learning at Bridger Aerospace in Bozeman. What has been the highlight of this semester for you?
The highlight? Working with Corinne's actually been really fun. Last week was a jam. We had a really fun time. Just honestly being here at the hangar and seeing the planes and being hands-on, soldering and doing wiring diagrams and all that has been really cool, actually. Yeah.
But what is avionics and why is it needed here in Montana?
Avionics technician is responsible for maintaining communication systems, navigation systems, things like autopilot or auto flight.
When we first spoke with Gallatin College and Bridger Aerospace, they noted how important it was to have a group of locally trained experts right here in the Gallatin Valley.
We have the airport with lots of single engine planes, and so there is definitely, people need to be able to fix their planes.
And in Corinne Porter's eyes, she sees this as a great push for trade careers, and when it comes to instructing aspiring technicians, to say she was excited would be an understatement.
I was ecstatic, super excited to have the opportunity to train up the next generation of avionics technicians. We're definitely needing more technicians in this industry, so to have the opportunity to guide the next generation was really awesome.
In Bozeman, Jane McDonald, MTN News. Now this next story we've been following since it began. The 19-year-old Michigan man who was reported missing over the weekend in Glacier National Park, well, he is still recovering, but now he's expressing his gratitude too. Matthew Reed was reported missing Sunday, but after not returning from a Friday hike on Glacier's Huckleberry Lookout Trail, Two Bear Air picked up a thermal heat signature in heavily forested terrain and lowered a rescuer down to Reed's location and found him in a somewhat responsive state. Reed is in stable condition at Logan Health in Kalispell, continuing his recovery. In a video message sent to MTN News, Reed thanked everyone who helped save his life.
Hi everyone, I'm Matthew, and I just really wanted to say how grateful I am for everybody who assisted in searching me and for everybody who did search for me, for all of the medical professionals that have helped me so much, for all of the people who prayed for me. I just cannot say enough from the bottom of my heart how grateful and thankful I am for all of you. Thank you.
Now, Glacier National Park, the Flathead County Sheriff's Office, North Valley Search and Rescue, and many more agencies assisted in that rescue. And we're thankful that he's recovering. as well as he is. And the FWP says this long winter and heavy snowpack left a limited area for wildlife to forage, and people should be extremely cautious and aware of their surroundings as grizzly bear activity is increasing. On May 15th, most of Montana's wildlife management areas will open. The FWP has provided a list of precautionary steps for people that are out recreating to avoid surprise encounters. Carry and know how to use bear spray, make noise, especially near streams or in thick forest where hearing and visibility is impaired. Travel in groups and plan to be out in the daylight hours. And watch for signs of bears such as bear scat, diggings, torn up logs, and turned over rocks. And of course, partly consumed animal carcasses. Never approach a bear. For more information on recreating in Montana's bear country, you can head over to our website for more. And as any veteran knows, it can be difficult to return home after deployment. And it's something that this Flathead organization knows all too well. But they're working to change that, just maybe not in the way you'd expect. MTN's Kiana Wilson shares their soldiers above ground and underwater.
You go down, you sit under the water, and all you think about is breathing. Nothing else. You can hang out upside down, lay on the bottom of the pool, and just concentrate on breathing, and the rest of the world just goes away.
Underwater Soldiers is a group of veterans in the Flathead that uses scuba diving as a form of therapy.
You need some ways to just unstress, like just kind of get away from the family for a little bit. And I found out being in the pool, it's really calming, relaxing. It's quiet down there. I can just close my eyes and just pretend it's just me down there. And so when I come out really just relaxed, and it really just helps me get through the day and through the week.
This group was created by veterans for veterans as a safe place to come connect, share stories, and work through some of the everyday struggles they face after serving.
The group we've created now, we all have at least two things in common. We like scuba diving and we're all vets. Being able to help some of these guys to see where they've been struggling, they're getting better, and that helps me.
The group trains in the pool, but they also host underwater cleanups to give back to the community. And last year, through 5 dives in Flathead Lake, they collected 6,200 pounds of garbage.
Giving back to community vets, that's why most of us served, is to give back. Most of us can't serve in any form anymore, so we do watershed cleanups.
These watershed cleanups give veterans a chance to expand their diving experience and a chance to adventure.
Being an infantryman, I kind of miss having that rush of excitement, and so doing diving, it kind of brings a little bit of that back, finding new things and just being outdoors and having that sense of adventure. I really miss that.
The group meets at Flathead Scuba every other Monday. Any veteran is welcome to join and try diving if they have proof of service. All dive nights and watershed cleanups are posted on the Underwater Soldiers Facebook page.
I've always had the philosophy of, don't knock it till you try it. Come try it, it's free, and they're here to help us veterans.
In Kalispell, Kiana Wilson, MTN News.